My name is Lizette Vajegas. I am 33 years old and I live in Smithfield, Utah. If I want to say 3 points of why I feel that it was hard, first and foremost, I'm going to say because we're Latino. Second, because of stigma. And three, because uneducated would be the 3 points that I would say it was really hard. Um, I am specifically speaking about my 3-year-old boy that has a full diagnosis. And it's because I noticed he was different, but a lot of people kept on telling me it was because he was a boy, because boys are energetic. And it had been a while since I hadn't had a baby, which was 10 years. So it was a lot of misinformation when I kept on kind of questioning not only my family or friends, but as well the pediatrician. He wasn't eating normally, he wasn't sleeping normally, he emotionally was a little withdrawn. Just little things that I was like, oh, he sounds just different. He wasn't speaking. When he was about 18 months, somebody from the family place said, hey, he should already be saying about 50 words. And I was like, he's saying nothing. And then just a couple of other things that they saw. And they're like, oh, go up to 3. They'll do an assessment for you. So I did, and they assessed him, and they did see that there was a delay, and they did refer to the ABC Club, which is for autistic kids. They can't do a diagnosis, but they could see if you could come in, for an extra help with if and so they were autistic. So that was at 18 months. But my pediatrician was not happy when we let him know we had done that. And the baby daddy's like, no, he doesn't like it. I don't like it. No, he's fine. No. So I was really busy too with work, and I just got overwhelmed about everybody saying, no, he's fine. No, you're going to label him. No, you're going to teach him different. So I let go of the program. When he was about 2.5, by this time I had already had another boy, Lonzo, and then I was pregnant again. I had noticed that Lonzo was copying a lot of what Trini was doing, which is the 3-year-old. And I got really worried. I said, you know what? I already have the 2-year-old copying the 3-year-old, and I am pregnant again. I'm going to go nuts. So I didn't care what anybody said, and I called up to 3 again. And up to 3 assessed him again, went through it again, and again said, we do see those early signs of autism. So with that being said, him being older, him almost being 3 to be able to go to preschool, and with recommendations of up to 3, we had him diagnosed, and then the ADOS done for him. I felt like it was pulling teeth to convince dad. We overstepped his primary pediatrician, and it was just more me adamant of we have to find out so we can have that early intervention and then have him be able to go to preschool at 3. So I did it behind everybody wanting me to do it. So it was just a mom gut saying, I have to do it. And no matter what the diagnosis, we got to get it done. When I described to his pediatrician, the different things that were happening, and how his anger would come out and things like that, he said, I can't even remember what it was, just hold him and hold him tight, and you're the one that he needs to listen to. We can't be creating little monsters. So when he said that, I was like, okay. So it blew me off, and it made me believe that it was my parenting, that he was the way that he was. And so that's what I'm saying. It was a struggle for me. And even the dad, it was like, it's just because you're too nice. So it's just because you give in. The stigma behind being a parent with a child with disabilities is huge, because more when they're little, because people just think it's your parenting and they're like that because of you. My husband wanted to believe that our 3-year-old was okay. So it was easier for him to just agree with the doctor than to agree with me. And it hurt. That's why I said I felt hurt in so many ways. Not only my doctor, but my family and my husband, where I was like, okay, you guys think I'm nuts. I'm not. I don't want something to be wrong with him. I just want him to get help. And as well, validation for me that I'm not crazy, and then I could change the way that I parent because I was getting frustrated because I would parent in a way where you would regularly parent a child that doesn't have to steam, a child that doesn't have triggers. But what was hard for me was when I did overstep him, um, because we had his 3-year-old evaluation. And I said, well, he did get diagnosed. He's moderate on the autism spectrum and he has early signs of ADHD. And then we continued with the interview of what concerns were about Trini, and I said, well, his eating, his sleeping is getting better. And then it changed. Oh yeah, that is something that is seen in kids that are autistic. Oh yeah, you're right. That I was like, really? Because that's what I had said before. So and my husband was there, and then he saw and understood my frustration. My husband apologized to me many, many, many times after I told him the problem that I felt with not being validated. But yeah, then we changed our pediatrician to the one that is expert in children with autism, just because we felt he could serve him better. To listen, listen, because that was part of, for a year and a half, I fought with myself, with my feelings. I felt not enough as a mom. And more with that comment where he said, we can't be creating little monsters. And I said, well, that's not what I want. But, I try everything I can possibly. So listen and don't, it's not as us as parents want our children to be, diagnosed or for them to be something wrong with them. We're saying it because genuinely it's a concern. I think if there was another bigger word than to listen, have big ears, I would use that word, but I don't know what word that could be. Dr. Rogers definitely validated me and was okay with his big emotions because Trini doesn't like to be in a room. So he's pulling, he's screaming, so when I would say, I'm sorry, he's screaming, or you don't have to apologize. It's okay. So that made me not start sweating and my high blood pressure to come on, because when I go to other offices, they're kind of like, okay. And he was so understanding of what my 3-year-old was going through, of not wanting to be in a room or not wanting somebody new to touch him, or, the loud noises or things like that. So that made my heart 100% be like, he is the right person for me to bring my 3-year-old to. Putting ourselves in other people's shoes, because had I not had a child with special needs, I don't think I would have ever imagined what they go through. We don't like to go out because obviously we have a lot of kids, but at the same time, he's so unpredictable. And then as well, the stigma with him being a little different, parents and children don't understand it. So look at us like we have a monster kid. A lot of people, they're like, well, why didn't Fonzie come? Why did you only come? Why? It's like they don't understand. We can't go all together because it would be a massive chaos. So it definitely for me would be just never judging other parents on their either parenting or how they go about how they do their family dynamics. I I don't think I would say that I would want to change anything because I have said it a hundred times. As hard as it is, I think Trini's disability, and I know it sounds, cheesy, but it's teaching me, it's making me grow. I was not a patient person, but he has taught me patience. He has taught me unconditional love, where we can both get frustrated and, in 2 seconds, we can love each other right back the same. So many things that he has taught me that I don't think I could have learned any other way. The only thing that I would probably say is add a little bit of more self-care for me as a parent, because really time is limited. But I do try my very best to sneak in self-care so I can be the best parent possible, because without self-care, I don't think I could have make it. But I would love a little bit of more self-care for myself. I am lucky to my day hat, or my part-time job was at the family place. We definitely are always talking. We're trauma sensitive, the framework on it. So we're always talking about checking your energy. How is your energy? Are you comfortable with your energy? What can you do to change that energy? So I not only do that on myself, but I try to share that with my daughter with her energy, and as well my husband. I notice that you're getting upset. Let's give each other some time. Why don't you go for a walk? Go listen to music, whatever it is for self-care. For me, if it's shopping, if it's sleeping, I try to sneak in a little bit different things, if it's even a date for me and dad. We have an amazing support system that we can just call friends or family, and one will take one kid, the other one will take one kid. And they give us that self-care. So being very vigilant of knowing that we need to take care of ourselves so we can be the best we can for our kids and our relationship as well. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, like mom support groups, because I feel that we get each other. We understand what you're going through. So let me just say, here, I'm here for you, or I understand, or yes, I've seen it. Here in Cache Valley, I wish I had time. I wish I had time. But my focus in Cache Valley is to work with Latinos, to educate as well, on different things. My big thing right now has been COVID and vaccination, and taking care of yourself and things like that. But during May, mental health, I promote a lot, which is mental health, suicide prevention, normalizing, breaking the stigma of therapy, things like that. Um, April was Autism Awareness Month. So I'm very open about it. So within the Latino community, I think more with us as Latinos, breaking that stigma has been my goal. And within sharing my own story, I can try and break that stigma to talk about it and being open about it. I had shared it before he was diagnosed, but now that I can be even more open and I can share my story, I have been able to get to much more people and answering questions. And I don't always have the answers because everybody's different, and every child that has a different disability is going to be different. But overall, we do. And try and answer questions here and there, give them resources, which unfortunately here in Cache Valley, we don't have a lot for children that have autism. If there was two things that if I would have time and money, would be educate our community so they could have more empathy and understanding of what it is, and as well that it's okay to be different, embrace your difference. And early intervention for me is going to be the best, and help any mother that might be feeling in my situation overwhelmed and not validated with her feelings.